People will start coming on slowly but surely. What's going on, people? How's everybody doing? Hold on. Let me turn the TV off. Should have been did that. Well, as like you all know it all, I'm gonna announce my admin team and my moderators on here. So it's crazy. Like a lot of women are on here, and like that's all that like follows me. A couple men. There's one of the moderate with admins, and I'm gonna announce the team because I just built this team. I don't want to get their name wrong because I like to do stuff correct. Today, when I was using, I didn't give a fuck what was correct and what was wrong. And now I do. So I'm going to announce the admin team and the moderators. I'm going to give them a shout out so y'all can tap in with them. My man Matt's on there. Matthew, what's up? Welcome. Brooke, welcome. Crystal, welcome. There she is, Angie. That's one of the moderators. Got my man Richie Bird, Connie, Jennifer, Michelle Davis. Got my man Derek D. and me. As the team, we're looking for 2 more men to become moderators on this page. But this is the speaker. You know, my brother introduced me to her. So if we all can come together right now, get them watch parties out. Let's get them watch parties in the group. Let's all get this shared out to your personal pages. If nobody knows about Inspirational Freestyle Recovery Flow, like I'm real passionate, like I'm real enthusiastic, like because I don't never want to get high again. Because I don't forget my last run, right? And my last one that I took and how painful and miserable I was sitting at the end of the road begging my family for money and shit. Let's talk about the real shit, not the sugar watered down, sugarcoat message. And I'm going to pray her in. Well, Tiffany, there's going to be some sisters reaching out to you right now. We love you. We believe in you. We need you. Stay on. Hear the message. So let's all get this shared out. Share this thing out. So I'm gonna hit the I'm gonna pray you in. I'm gonna hit the introduction. You're probably gonna think I'm crazy. Introduction. I don't think you ever watched this. All right, Lord Almighty God, I just want you to place hands on my sister right now, and Jessica, just lift her up if she struggles with any lack of confidence, low self-esteem, or low self-worth. That you just place a message of recovery onto her, and if she is struggling, feeling insecure, that you just lift that off of her, Lord God, and just allow her to get honest and transparent tonight and touch that one person and allow her to get vulnerable. And for the people that's struggling on here right now, think about using, just allow them to stay on, Lord God, and lift people up with positivity and inspiration from this message. Amen. Inspirational Freestyle Recovery Flow. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Inspirational Flow. Come on, hey, go ahead, sis.
No, I love the energy. I really love the energy and the atmosphere you bring to recovery, right? Like we have to be really excited about our recovery if we want to continue staying clean, right? Yeah. So I love that. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to participate in my recovery, because one of the many reasons why I still keep coming back and I still have a clean date is because I share a message of experience, strength, and hope with another addict, and hopefully help at least one addict, right? Like that's the message I got here when I first got clean, and like that's what I continue to pass on to other addicts. My clean date is May 23rd, 2016. I just celebrated 4 years yesterday.
Congratulations. Come on, y'all. Let's get them hearts up. Congratulations. Come on, sis.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm on the West Coast. I'm from Los Angeles. Time matters, but time doesn't always matter, right? Like if you're here with 1 day clean, if you're here with 10 days clean, if you're here with 10 years clean, like welcome, right? Like we never have to get loaded again, even if we want to, and when I first got clean, like that's what I heard. And like, that really stuck to me because like, I never thought it was possible. Like staying clean even though I don't want to. Like, that blew my mind, so like something about me, like I'm first generation, born out here. My parents are from Russia. Um, it's very important for me to identify that I am Russian, because when I was out there in active addiction, I did not think I was Russian whatsoever. I thought I was like a little like gangster hood rat, like running around like with all like, running amok, like I didn't, like I would always say like I'm not Russian, and like thank God for the steps, right? Thank God for getting honest, right? Like I'm able to be proud of who I am today, and like without any masks, right? Like I never had that opportunity before, because I was always someone what you wanted me to be or who you wanted me to be, but not what I wanted to be and who I truly am, and like I'm so grateful for that. So like, I don't know, in Russia, when a baby's crying, they tend to put vodka in the bottle to like, put them to sleep. So like that was my introduction to a substance, right? Um, my parents got divorced at an early age, and like all my memories I have of my father is like him in active addiction, like using, like I always hated my father because I never understood why all these people, like, growing up like in elementary school, like they had like all these perfect like lives like on the outside, right? Like why am I so different, right? Like I didn't know what's really going on behind like, closed doors, and like, I was like super ashamed of that, and I also felt very guilty. Like I carried guilt with me from a very early age, like from an age where kids don't know what guilt is, and that was like part of my story until I got clean, so like my dad would come pick me up from school, like looking crazy as fuck, like I just never understood why, right? Like he would come pick me up, like he'd sleep all day, up all night, right? Like I never like received that love that I needed, right? Not that I wanted, but that a little kid needed, you know? And and my mom on the other hand, she's not using drugs, but like she was like 25, 26 when my parents got divorced, and like she was out there always trying to find me another father figure in my life, so I never had that like connection, right, with my parents that I needed, right? Today I know that that's the best they could do. Like they didn't know any better, but like I needed more, right? So like my first substance was not drugs, it was acting out, it was rebelling, right? It was getting that negative attention, it was like cutting my hair off, threatening to jump off a bridge, like off the balcony, like whatever it is to get some type of like some type of attention from my mom, because like I would do good in school, I would play good in sports, and like I never got that attention. They're like, good job, and they just go on with their business, and I don't know if for you, maybe you guys can probably relate, but like I just needed more. Like I thought I was all alone, right? I had a younger brother, and I felt like he was getting all the attention, and I wasn't getting anything. So I was like by myself from like a very early age, and it carried with me, by like 11, 12, like I'm like stealing like my parent, like when I'd go to my dad's house, like I would drink, like, steal it, like sips from like, the other room, or like just doing anything I can, right? So like I'm exposed to this at a young age, and I was curious, right? Like what 11, 12-year-old isn't curious, right? So I'm like doing that. You know, I've seen there's quite a few new people on here. So like I usually don't like to share about the substances, but when I was new, I needed to hear the substances so I can relate. So I'm going to, all right? So by like 14, I'm smoking trees. By like 15, I'm popping pills, like going to raves, like doing whatever I can just to get out of self, right? Like I didn't know that back then. I thought I was just having a great time and having fun. But like by doing some work on myself, like I just wanted to escape reality and the way I'm truly feeling, right? Um, by like, 16, 17 years old, like I grew up in Hollywood, right? So in Hollywood, it's a fast life. It's super fast life, and it's like movement, like clubs, like raves, this and that and that. And like, I just wanted to fit in. So by like 16, 17, I already have a fake ID. I don't know how, because I still look like I'm underage. So, so like I would go into clubs and like, just, I would do what I want, I had no authority in my life because my mom would always be out and about all night. So I kind of just did what I wanted to do, So I'm already like, I'm an active like user now, right? I'm an active user. By 17, I got raped. I got raped by like putting myself into unsafe situations, right? Like, yeah, I was the victim, but I also have a part, right? So like, cause I was out and about, and like, I shouldn't be in these type of situations in these places at 17 years old, regardless, But like today, I can say that I am a victim, because before I thought it was my fault that happened, Thank God for the steps. Thank God for sponsorship, Yeah, I'm just grateful. But so by 17, I also ended up dropping out of high school shortly after that, and I started using meth and heroin at 17. And when they talk about like the disease of addiction progressing, the disease of addiction progressed like a snap of a finger, like the snap of a finger. I didn't know that my life was going to take me where it went. Like, I mean, like, I didn't know these things, right? Like, if someone would have taught me and showed me the ways, I don't know if I would ended up where I was at. But like, all I had to do was fill that void and feel safe, right? I remember when that person gave me heroin for the first time, I felt fucking safe. For the first time in my life, I felt okay, and so now this is like shortly after the incident. I got introduced to this guy that just got out of prison, did 5 years in prison. I'm like, wow, he can keep me safe. Like, he's the one that could keep me safe. He's the one that I was looking for. He's the one, right? And that's what I was talking about, right? Like, I thought that I was like this gangster, like hood rat, right? Like, this is where it started progressing, right? So like, now I'm like running amok with this guy at 18 years old. He's like, almost 10 years older than me. And like, dude, I had to do what I had to do to support my habit, and I share this with you guys because there's a lot of women in this group, and I see there's a lot of women in this group, and a lot of women fear of getting vulnerable, right? And I see it all the time, right? But it's like, if I can just share this to at least help one of you, like, I've done my job, and that's why I'm grateful to be doing this and sharing a message. So he ended up going back to prison, go figure. People that go in and out of prison go back to prison unless they do something different with their life, right? And about like 2 months later, I met the real love of my life that just got out of prison. And listen, like, that's what I was attracted to, right? Like I said, thank God for step work, right? Because I brought what I got what I attracted, right? And like, that's the type of things that I attracted. And I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying those type of people are wrong, but like, I had no self-worth, and that's what it came down from, right? Like, I was okay with being abused. I was okay with being mistreated. I was okay with not having a voice, all to just feel like I am safe. So I ended up being with this man for 6 years, off and on, because he kept going in and out of prison, and I kept doing what I had to do for drugs, and like, I ended up like tricking, and I ended up stealing, and I ended up doing fraud, and I ended up doing whatever I had to do in order to get one more, not knowing that like my life is on the line. Like, I can either go to prison, or someone can kill me, or like I can overdose. Like I didn't care. You know, like by 21, I've accepted the fact that I was going to die with that needle on my arm, and I was okay with that. Like I was okay with that. Like I was living on the streets of Hollywood, like going from place to place to place. Like I just did not care. You know, like I had no meaning in life. Like I had no purpose in life. And that's all I ever wanted was a purpose. You know, like I didn't know, I didn't know who I am anymore at all. Like I had no genuine friends in my life. Like I had no one that truly cared about me. Like I had none of that. You know, like everyone in my life either wanted my money, my dope, or to fuck. That's it. There's people don't care about you in active addiction. And like I hear people sometimes coming around, and like I had sponsees sharing with me, like, oh, my friends, they're not your friend. They're not your friend. When we talk about people, places, and things, like we mean it. People, places, and things, right? Like I don't know, like I'm just so grateful, right? So I was with this man like for 6.5 years, and like I'm running amok, you know. And I've tried moving to a different country to get clean. Like when all I did was found some more of whatever I wanted. You know, I used to go to I used to come in the rooms, and like I used to sit there like, nobody can help a dope fiend like me. Like I'm worse than all you motherfuckers. Like nobody knows what I've been through. Nobody can help me, you know, but like I didn't give it a chance, you know. So I'm gonna just start getting towards like recovery, because I feel like we all have a story, and we all like, you know, but I just really wanted to share that because there's a lot of women on here, and like those feelings of like complete brokenness, right? Complete like desperation, right? Like completely lost all hope for myself, right? Like that's where I was at. Like I've been in hospitals like for infections, like blood infections, where I thought I was gonna die, like, you know, all these things. But like I've been able to like have another chance, right? And like people, like if you're new and like you don't believe in yourself, it's okay. Just let us believe in until you believe in yourself. Like you can do this, you know. So on April 26, 2016, my ex-boyfriend my boyfriend at the time was getting released for the last time. The last time was his last chance to live. 3 days later, he was murdered. And, you know, my life completely fell apart, right? The one man, like I thought he was my everything, my life, right? Like I completely stopped talking to everybody. I haven't talked to my family in years. He was taken from me, right? So I try to take a bunch of different drugs to try to just numb the pain, and like clearly I'm not good at that either. I'm clearly not good at like trying to kill myself, but like you know, the next morning I woke up and like I had a vision, right? Like I had a vision, like I know what it's like to die. I've been dying for 10 years straight. Like I've been dead, right? I've been dead, but I don't know what it's like to live. I've never given my chance that opportunity to life. Never have I, you know. And my mom reached out because she's seen it on the news, and she asked me if I was all right. It's the first time I ever talked to her, and like that was my first time of like a spiritual awakening, like a divine intervention where I wanted to do something different. And I raised up my hands and I said, I need help. You know, it's okay to ask for help around here. You know, I didn't know it was, but it's okay. It doesn't make you any harder or any tougher to like not ask for help and do it on your own. Like your true strength comes out when you reach out for help. I truly believe that. And so she ended up finding me a treatment center in a different country in Israel. And I went to treatment in Israel. It was a 6-month program. I ended up staying there for 11 months. It was like the old school, like behavioral modification program. Like They don't sugarcoat anything. They don't like pet your back for anything. Like they tell you how it is raw, and like they take off those masks and like, you know, they tell you what it's all about. Like you're a dope fiend and you're a junkie and you're a nobody. Like that's how they talk to me. And that's what I needed to hear, because when you come around here, or when I came around here, I thought I was an entitled fuck and it's my way. Right? But it's not all about my way. Like if it was my way, I would not be coming to the rooms and asking for help and reaching out for help because I got this, right? But I clearly don't, you know? And so I stayed there, and I finally got reintroduced to the program, and I gave it my all. And like, I had to be in a different country to hear the message, right? Like it was my first time in my life that I actually heard a message. Like I didn't even understand what they were talking about. Like they didn't use the same drugs as me. They didn't look the same. They didn't even speak the same language. But what I did feel is that pain and that connection, right? Like one addict helping another, right? Like I felt that. And, you know, and I just like, I gave in. Like my whole life I've been doing it my way, right? My way. But my way nearly got me murdered. You know, my way nearly put me like 6 feet under because of my addiction, you know, like that's my way, right? So I ended up getting a sponsor, and I started working the steps, and I got a home group out there, and you know, it's all about being of service. And I really appreciate you, Carl, for putting this together, right? Because it's like carrying a message to another like addict, right? That's what the purpose is, you know, like it's all about giving back what was given to me. And like, I'm so grateful for that. Right. Because if like, I'm grateful for that opportunity and to be able to help somebody else out, someone that has no hope at all, you know, like, and maybe give them just a little bit of hope, you know? So I came back out here with 11 months, and I went to my meeting right away. And like, you know, mind you, I was on a 14-hour flight, and I came back tired as hell. And I went to a meeting. I raised my hand and I said, I'm new and I need help, you know? And I hear people all the time talking about they're too tired, or they're not, all these things come up, right? And like, they don't want to like go to a meeting or whatever it is. And like, it's my ass on the line, you know? No one else is going to keep me clean besides me, right? So like, I had to do the footwork, and I had to put myself out there to be known, new to the area, you know? And I did that, you know? I didn't want to do that, but I had to do it, you know? Because I know exactly where I left off right before I got clean. Right before I got clean, like people that murdered my boyfriend were looking for me too, you know? I almost didn't get on the flight because the cops almost arrested me because I was nodding out too hard at the airport. Like, I remember, you know? Like, I remember that, you know? And I'm just grateful for that. Like I'm grateful that I'm an addict today, because I see people all the time, and especially right now, I see people struggling. I see people struggling and don't have an outlet to talk to people, and don't have people like-minded like you that you can share your feelings and share what you're going through, right? We have this today. We have this platform. We have meetings. We have numbers of addicts that we can call, you know? And like, I'm grateful for that, you know? Like I haven't been the most perfect person in recovery. Like I've made a lot of mistakes, mistakes. Like Matt's on here. He knows, like I've gone in a fight at a convention. Like I've made mistakes, you know, I've made mistakes, but like one thing I know, like I didn't pick up. I did not pick up, you know, and I'm like, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Like we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. And that's the blessing, is that we're able to make a mistake and grow from it. Like I appreciate the mistakes I make. You know, I'm grateful for those mistakes. So like I came out here and I got a sponsor. I started working the steps. You know, my sponsor ended up going out and like decided to go to like on a different journey, and like it's all good. It's all good. Like, yeah, at the time, like I was going through it, and like, you know, I wanted to turn back my back on the program, because I was like, again, like everyone's going to leave me. Everyone's going to abandon me, because I realized by working some steps, like all I ever was, because I got clean when I was 25. Like all I ever was a little 4-year-old girl inside that was hurting. That all I wanted to do was feel loved and like I wasn't alone, right? That's all I ever wanted to do, right? Throughout my whole addiction, that's all I ever wanted to do is I wanted to feel like I was, like I belonged, like I was okay and I was enough. That's it, you know? And today I am enough and I do belong and I am loved, you know? And that's all a part of the process of working the steps and applying the principles in my life, right? Like I have genuine people in my life today that genuinely care about me and don't want anything from me. Like I never had that. Like I've never had that. Like today I have the opportunity to be able to like show my dad by example of what a person is that does not have to always use a substance, right? Like he's still kind of out of his mind and he still thinks he's my homeboy, but like it's okay. Like I have some principles in my life and I'm able to forgive him, right? I'm able to let go of those resentments, right? Because just like me, he's still a suffering addict, you know, and I'm just so grateful for that. Like where I'm at, where I've been at lately, like, so like I said, I shared, I just celebrated 4 years and, you know, one of the hardest parts, like one of the hardest things for me in my recovery is like being able to get vulnerable with another man after my boyfriend of 6 years got murdered. Because, you know, I'm a fucking addict and like, I think that everyone now is going to get taken from me and like, you know, like I'm gonna get abandoned again, you know, but that's not fair to myself. Like, it's not fair to not allow people into my life, right? And to not only receive love, but give love, right? Like we were talking about it earlier, like it's all about showing love, right? And just giving love and giving love and giving love. But like I'm falling short if I'm not allowing myself to give love to someone I do love. Does that make sense? Like I had to do, like within this past year, like I had to do a lot of work on myself, like to be able to walk through some fears, right? Like it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay, you know, like it's okay to feel pain, you know. So like today where I'm at, like I'm in a great, amazing relationship. And that's just because I've allowed myself to feel pain and feel discomfort. Because before, whenever I get uncomfortable, I fucking walk away. You know, I don't want to get hurt again, you know, and I'm just grateful for these steps. Like these steps is like what's changed my life. Like I don't talk the same. I don't look the same. I don't walk the same. Like, like I don't have to be somebody that I'm not anymore. Like I really don't, you know, like I'm able to like be like, yeah, I'm Jessica and I'm crazy and I'm wild and I'm weird and that's okay. And I'm great. Like, I'm great with that. Like, I'm okay with that, you know? And, you know, I've seen it, like, I've seen a lot of people pass away, like throughout my 4 years, you know, and, you know, it's like, I just sometimes wish I can give what I was given. Right. But I can't. Right. And like, it's the most heartbreaking thing when like people don't believe, like don't think that they have it, like they can do it. Anybody can do it, but all you have to do is just follow some simple suggestions. It's that easy, right? Like yeah, like I shared about it yesterday when I was celebrating my anniversary. Like we're all miracles here, right? We're all miracles here, and it's like I've been taught that like it's not a surprise when someone relapses. It's surprising when people stay clean because we're addicts and we're wired to get loaded.
Come on!
Right? We're wired to get loaded. So we're all miracles because we keep coming back and we just stay clean one day at a time, right?
Come on. Yeah.
And I'm just like so grateful for that. Like I'm grateful. Like we're miracles. We're walking miracles, right? And like if you don't believe it, I'm telling you that you are. And one day you'll feel it and believe it. So thank you for letting me share.
Come on. It's all, throw them hearts up. It's all get the love going. So now it's time to ask you some questions, the part I like to do.
All right.
You. So man, wow. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for sharing and getting vulnerable and real transparent and real honest. What I noticed, like what sharing from the heart touches the heart. My predecessor Hank W says that in Pittsburgh, right? Um, so where did you come to a point in your life like where you started to like really love yourself? You know, because I see that your story is about like, you know, a lot of women and men, we seek validation and
Mm-hmm.
want to be loved, right? So
Right.
where did you get to a point in your life where you stopped doing that and started to love yourself and start like seeking validation?
Well, you know, we're addicts, so like I'll tend to still sometimes seek validation, right? But like
Absolutely.
I'm like on a daily basis, like, you know, I have to apply some steps, right? And like that fourth step, right?
Yeah.
Because like I came in here with a lot of resentments, not only towards everybody else, but towards myself, towards all the harm that I've caused to other people. And once I was able to let that go a little bit, like I was able to give myself some more love, right? Because I didn't hate the person I am, because I'm not that person anymore, you know? And I mean, it took time, but like, I've definitely, you know, it takes baby steps, like, right? Like I don't hate the person I am anymore. And that's when I really started to love myself. Yeah.
So a lot of people's thanking you, man. You got all kind of stuff going on in these comments. I'm gonna ask you.
Can I also put my number down? I seen a few.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all know if you're a man on here and you hit my sister up, she gonna text me. She gonna tell you. I'm just getting that out there. We do not do no weird shit on this page. I'm just putting that out there. So we come in, we respect people, and we respect people's woman today. We respect people in committed relationship. You slide in your DM, I'll know about it because I don't play that shit on this page.
I actually can't see how to put it on there.
Well, there's something called a private.
Yeah.
No. Is there something called comments?
So it's a private chat or live comments.
Live comments right there.
But it won't let me type it in there.
What? It should.
On private chat, I can.
Well, that's my moderators will probably put it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Oh, also, I just seen that someone said, "Where's God in your story?" So I can answer that. So obviously, like some of us, when we got loaded, like I completely I never really believed in God, right? I never had a connection with God. I always thought that God was like someone out to get me. But once I got clean, I realized that like God, whatever you choose to call God, might not be what I choose to call God. When I first got around here, I used to call it the gift of desperation because that's what I was blessed with. But today, what I choose to call God is the universe and the energy and people like you and people at meetings and like my sponsors. Like whatever I choose to call God does not have to be necessarily what you choose to call God, you know? And everyone has to find their own God throughout the steps.
I dropped Jessica's phone number in there. I'm telling you, dude, don't hit, man, just respect, you know, what's going on this page. Don't hit her up on no weird shit because we will find out. And I just don't do that today. I used to be one of them people to be hitting people's girls up on some weird shit. That ain't who I am today. Not even like girls just hit anybody up. That's just, we all were pigs in recovery. So another question. Where did you, man, you've been through a lot of stuff, man. And so when you grieved over your boyfriend getting murdered, and like, how did that like really feel when and like the pain and did you like use off of some trauma? Like when you was, how can I say, like whatever happened in the past, what really caused you to use?
So you mean in the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning, like when you started using and stuff like that. Did you have any trauma happen to you?
Well, like I shared, so like I like when I first started using, I thought I was just partying. I thought I was just partying and just having a good time. which ended up being a little bit more than normal. But like I said, like with the heroin and the meth, that's when I did start using that once I got raped. So yeah, definitely some trauma. But like, you know, I also feel like sometimes like an addict is, if you're born if you're an addict, like you're gonna use whether you have trauma or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna share some things with you. When my grandmother told me the experience that my grandmother told me that I like had convulsions and seizures. Like I'm basically a miracle baby. Mother, twin brother died or something like that. Um, and like I've died 3 times, and Dr. Wilson at John Hopkins Medical Center brought me back to life. But I had cocaine in my system and heroin.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically was born into this progressive illness, you know what I mean? And addiction, disease of addiction. So I didn't know of like where the stuff was going to start manifesting when it did and showing up in areas that it did. I remember obsessing and compulsion over a big wheel when I was 7 years old. Wouldn't get off the big wheel. Was obsessed over it. Wanted to ride my big wheel every day. And yeah, I got molested and I got fucked in the ass. I didn't want to tell another man that I got a penis in my ass. So that kept me out for a long time because I didn't want to get vulnerable and transparent. And I got molested by one of my cousins. You know what I mean? So that kept me in a dark place, sister, for a very long time.
Yeah, I can
You know, I get emotional sharing that stuff because I don't want that to happen to nobody. And that's why when I went to jail, I beat pedophiles up and shit like that, wore that mask and shit. And I still ain't okay with that today. You know what I mean? People touching kids. It's still a lot of stuff that I ain't okay with, but I guess it'll get better. Maybe it won't. Um, I definitely liked your story, and you can see that the trauma. So, like the abandonment issues that I have, not having a mother and father growing up, I used off of that too.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my disease progressed, and like being molested and not wanting to share that secret with somebody else, and the trauma and the guilt and shame of like being molested.
Right.
Thought, you know, wanting to blame God, and that ain't what it was. It was the person might have known, or the person might have been sick. They did that and stuff like that. So your story is a vision of hope. So your relationship today, share a little bit of that.
With my boyfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I remember like so in the beginning when he first asked me out like on a date, I was like, yeah, sure, you know, we'll go. Like I'm just like seeing what it's about, but like, you know, I share this with my friends like all the time. Like it like there was no connection at all. There was no connection, right? Like there was no connection for a long time. You know, and I think that's what really changed for me because I wasn't looking at people from what they looked like on the outside, right? Because I had a like a vision of who I liked. I needed a guy that was 6'2", all tatted up with back muscles, just got out of prison. Like that's what I liked, right? Like that's what I liked, you know, and that's not the case here. Like he does not look like anything of what I always wanted, you know. Like not my like go-to type, right? So like I was able to like start a relationship by connection, right?
Tell the truth.
By Matt.
That's my man. Yeah.
Talk about it, Matt. Talk about it.
That's my homie.
So it's like, you know, I had to start over. Like I had to like really like feel like do our spirits connect, right? And like that was really important for me, and it wasn't easy. Like I would remember I would call my sponsor. I'm like, dude, I don't know, bro. He likes me. Like there's some weird happening, some feelings going on. I don't like it, you know. And I really didn't like that feeling. And like I would call like my support group all the time, be like, dude, I don't like. Feelings are coming up and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'd rather just like chill by myself and like, you know, that's what I was doing for a long time. I wasn't like in relationships. Like I would just like call someone, like have fun and like go home and be by myself because I was okay with the fact that like I'm not going to get hurt, you know. And you know, I had to really do a lot of work on myself, and I had to really you know, accept the fact that like not everybody's the same, and not everybody has like the same, like not everyone's going to do the same to me. Like nobody, like everybody's different, right? And like I had to work through the same thing as far as like coming in the rooms and asking a female sponsor to sponsor me, because I've gotten fucked over by many women, right? But not all women are the same, you know. And like it's been hard. It's been definitely hard, but like I've been taught to like talk, like share how I really feel, talk to my support group, like talk to my friends, talk to my sponsor, write about it, pray about it. You know, like there's a bunch of tools that we get around here that like all we have to do is apply them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like what kind of made me wake up and stop being a cheater and a player was like that was a good message what you just shared. And what got me to stop, man, is like really thinking like if I had some daughters, like would I want somebody doing that to my daughter, and trying to fill that hole in my belly, that void, with like seeking validation, you know, to be accepted to a woman on an intimate level. Basically, like we seek validation, like women seek validation through their private part, and men seek validation through their dick. And
Right.
I shared that one time, and people's like, "Wow, you got like a not vulnerable, like real vulnerable and transparent to share that," because that's all it was. It was only some feelings that we were feeling, but we didn't really want to get intimate. And I'm on step 4, and I'm in the relationship part, and it's real deep. I'm talking about I got fucking pages. I'm not talking about no little ass chicken scratch. So I looked in this mirror, right, sis, and this is how I did it. This ain't no opinion. This is straight experience. I looked in that mirror, man, and I just told my higher power, said, God, I don't want to do this no more. I can, I will. I said, I must, I can, and I will, and I must change. I did that for 30 days, and he lifted something off me, and I've been with my girl ever since, man. And I ain't going to say that I didn't do no crazy shit, but I didn't cheat, but found myself acting out. Like I had to build this team of women because what I want my girl talking to another man. Deep down inside, I wouldn't want my girl talking to a man. So I just told my girl, hey, this is the speaker I'm having speak tonight. And that's how we get. That's how we get down. You know what I mean? And that's trust, right? Because
Right.
if there ain't no trust and communication in a relationship, ain't nothing.
That's not a relationship. A relationship is based off of trust. And if there's
It's a situation. Yeah, but you're amazing, and I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart, stepping outside and just getting real, man. You brought some real talk tonight,
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate you. It feels good to go to bed next to a woman knowing that you're not doing no slime ball shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I could see, that you got a good relationship going on. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to say that I'm not like perfect. Like I'll snap all the time. Right. And like, I'll get in my defense like ways, like as well. Like when I'm like, you know, like trying to push him away. Right. Right. Because I'm an addict and my head gets loud. Right. And, I always resort back to like, I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy, right? When my head gets loud, when things are just not right. But all we have to do is talk about it and communicate, right? Communication is key, right? In any relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship or a relationship as a whole, right? Communicating, like the other person might not know what you're going through unless you talk about it.
I mean, how's any situation or anything going to get addressed if you don't sit down?
Right.
If you're dating an addict, right? If you don't sit down and apply the spiritual principles and traditions and concepts, like, I don't know if you ever heard my sponsor share, and like, this is what attracted me to him. He's big on the literature. He's big on the traditions and all that. He said, we got to sit at the table and apply these steps and traditions at the dinner table. Bring the marriage to the convention. When our girl ain't with us, we bring our marriage to the convention. And that's how we do things, man. And like, that's how, I mean, damn, I'm coming up on 2 years in a relationship. What the hell? Shit, that shit's awesome. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, man. You're right, man. Communication and respect and honesty and just having integrity. Just straight up telling your significant other how you feel, and they might not like it, but it's being transparent. Like when I went to New York, and my sponsor told me, I said, "Yo, what should I do? Should I tell my girl like there's another girl, but not going to be sleeping in the bed with me, but there's going to be another girl in the room present, right?" He said, "Just be transparent with your girl and tell her that, right, instead of hiding that." So I slept in between the middle beds and shit. Got the fold out bed. You know what I mean? That's just this is being honest. You know what I mean? And that's transparency, and that's what I think women respect today.
Mm-hmm.
If there ain't no trust, might as well go. Because like this is true too. If you don't play your part in a relationship, another dude will.
Right.
That's what I tell them. They're like, "Why you always share that shit on the podium?" I said, "Man, because it's true, man. Get out of here with that bullshit." Because I got experience. My experience. I'm gonna end it with this. I was in a relationship, and this girl was seeing this man, but I didn't know that. Like, remember that them apps, Meet Me or something.
I think so.
Yeah, them back in the day. So I met this girl through that app and shit, and I thought it was going to be something, and it started good at first. It started out good at first. You know, we moved into this place. Something was going on. The energy wasn't right in the house. I went in the book bag and I found 200 letters from another man. Right. So my experience, what I experienced out of all this, he just put something funny. He just that's funny.
That's what he calls me.
Yeah. So what happened is, long story short, the dude came home and he took my girl because I won't play him up. But there was already something there because he was already in love. Stop, crazy boy. But I want to thank you for so much for coming on. Stop, buddy. He's wild. He wants. Look at him. He's wild. Come here. Look at him. You're crazy, ain't you? That's my girl's son. I built a relationship with her baby's dad. Stop!
Go, sit down.
He's knocking the light over and everything. But thank you for coming on and just getting out the way.
Thank you for asking.
Your own way and not let. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed night.
Thank you.
There anything you would like to say for anybody using right now?
Listen, like if you're new, if you're coming back from a relapse, like simply just give yourself a chance. Like I always share this, like if you don't think you can make it, just like give yourself a shot, like for 1 year, and like just like experience the miracles and the blessings that we have experienced. And if nothing's changed, that's all right. Like you can always go back out, but I promise you, your life will change. You know, your life will change dramatically. Like when I was using, like I've never been able to set myself a goal and accomplish anything, you know? And like I challenge you guys to just give yourself a shot, get that year and see how much your life has changed, like drastically, you know? And like if you're struggling, if you're new, you can reach out. My number was posted on the chat earlier.
Yeah, I'll post it again.
I'll gladly like talk.
Oh, they tagged it.
Thank you for letting me share. And thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, her number's tagged. Y'all can message her anytime. And we love y'all. We believe in you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for just getting on here and sharing your story.
Thank you.
You have a blessed night. That was amazing, y'all. So I'm going to pray us out. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Inspirational Freestyle Recovery Flow.
Do you like your car? In the morning. Okay? You what? I knew you would like it.
Thank you so much for coming on. And you know, that means a lot, sis. All you are a miracle. All of you are a blessing. Lord Almighty God, I just want you to place hands on Inspirational Freestyle Recovery Flow platform. And if any negativity comes towards this page, that you just go to their house and just fill their house up with the Holy Spirit, Lord God, and you just place it in their heart that that is not of right. And for the people that's out here attacking people in the recovery community, attacking everybody on like body broken and all that, just allow them just to mind their own business, Lord God, and just lift people up and encouraging people. Amen. Inspirational freestyle recovery sleepy flow. Sleepy sleep. Good night, night. Love you, Casey.